Hello everyone. Today's topic is glycolysis. This is an important topic for academic point of view. Glycolysis pathway is also called as Embden-Meyerhof pathway, which is occurred in cytosol of the cell. And here the glucose molecule is the precursor for this pathway. Glucose molecule is the starting material. And this glycolysis process is a major pathway for ATP synthesis in the tissues lacking mitochondria. For example, if you take erythrocytes or cornea, so these cells doesn't have any mitochondria, so where we can get energy from glycolysis process. And this glycolysis is very much important for brain. Why? Because brain is consuming more amount of energy which is obtained from carbohydrates by the process of glycolysis. So this is the pathway that we are going to dealing with. So glucose is the starting material, or we can also say precursor, and pyruvate is the end product of the glycolysis. Here we can get energy by this process. Coming to the pathway, here glucose molecule gets converted into glucose 6 phosphate in the presence of hexokinase or glucokinase. Here ATP will be utilized. Why? Because this is coming under ATP utilization phase, energy utilization phase. Actually, there are three important phases are there in glycolysis: energy investment phase or energy utilization phase, splitting phase, and energy generation phase. Here, these three reactions are coming under energy investing phase. Here, energy will be utilized, energy will be consumed for oxidation of glucose. The first step, in the presence of hexokinase or glucokinase, glucose is converted into 6-phosphate. Here, the phosphate ions, which will be attaching with glucose at the sixth position. The second reaction, which is a reversible reaction, here isomerization is taking place. Glucose is isomerized and forming fructose. Here the enzyme is phosphohexose isomerase. So here glucose is having 6 carbon compound, so which is also called as hexose. So here glucose is having with phosphate. That's why this is phosphohexose isomerase. So this reaction is called to be isomerization. The third step, fructose 6 phosphate gets converted into 1,6 bisphosphate. Here ATP will be added to the substrate and forming fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. So which is an irreversible reaction. ATP will be utilized or invested for this reaction, and the reaction is catalyzed by phosphofructokinase. Here, wherever we see the phosphorylation, ATP converts into ADP or ATP converts into ATP, should write the kinase. We should use the term kinase. Kinase is the term so which will be useful for phosphorylation reactions. Here, phosphofructose will be phosphorylated. That's why we can call it as phosphofructokinase. So these three reactions are coming under energy investing phase or energy utilization phase, where energy will be utilized for the reactions. Next, coming to the second phase, that is called splitting phase. Here fructose 1,6 bisphosphate is splitted into two molecules of 3 dihydroxyacetone phosphate and 3 carbon compound, that is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, meaning 6 carbon fructose is converting into 3 carbon dihydroxyacetone phosphate and 3 carbon glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate in the presence of aldolase. So here the enzyme is aldolase. So this is called a splitting phase, where a complete molecule gets splitted into two molecules of 3 carbon compound. The next phase, isomerization is taking place, and here these three carbon compounds get isomerized, and ketone, here dihydroxyacetone is having ketone group, and glyceraldehyde is having aldehyde group, and these ketone and aldehyde groups get isomerized. So that's why this reaction is a bidirectional reaction, a reversible reaction. In the next reaction, here dehydrogenation is taking place, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, which is having aldehyde functional group. As we know that aldehyde functional group is having CHO, where hydrogen will be removed from the functional group. So that's why this is called dehydrogenation reaction. Here the enzyme catalyzed is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate dehydrogenase. But where is this hydrogen is involved in this reaction? Here this hydrogen which is removed or liberated from the glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate will be attaching with NAD plus, which is a coenzyme, and forming NADH plus H plus. So whenever we see NAD plus and NADH2, so that reaction is called to be dehydrogenation reaction. This is a thumb rule for all the students to identify easily. So here inorganic phosphate is also involved in this reaction. In the next step, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate gets converted into 3-phosphoglycerate in the presence of phosphoglycerate kinase. Here also ATP is involved in this reaction. That's why we can use a kinase enzyme, but the substrate is bisphosphoglycerate. So that's why we can call this enzyme as phosphoglycerate kinase. And this type of reaction is called as substrate level phosphorylation. Why? Because here the substrate which is having two phosphate groups, in which one phosphate group will be liberated and get attached with ADP and forming finally ATP. So that means here the energy will be released, and now the substrate gets converted into 3-phosphoglycerate, right? So that's why this is called substrate level phosphorylation, where energy will be released. And the next reaction, 3-phosphoglycerate gets converted into 2-phosphoglycerate in the presence of phosphoglycerate mutase. Here mutation is taking place, the shifting of shifting of phosphate ions from third carbon to second carbon. So this is called a mutation, a change of the structure. So that's why here we are using mutase, but the substrate here is phosphoglycerate. So that's why we can call this enzyme as phosphoglycerate mutate. Next, coming to the next reaction where 2-phosphoglycerate gets converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. So this reaction is called to be dehydration reaction. Why? Because water gets released, and this reaction is catalyzed by enolase. Why? Because enol group is added to the final compound. In the final reaction, these phosphoenol pyruvates finally converted into the pyruvate, meaning phosphate group gets released from the substrate, which will be attaching with the ADP and forming ATP. So this is also called as substrate level phosphorylation. So that the reaction is favorable in the presence of Mg plus 2 ions, and the enzyme catalyzed here is pyruvate kinase. So here this pyruvate is the final product of glycolysis. So glycolysis is a 10 reaction pathway in which 3 reactions from first phase, that is energy utilization phase or energy investing phase. Fourth reaction is coming under splitting phase, where 6 carbon compound get splitted into two molecules of three carbon compounds, and remaining these six reactions are coming under energy releasing phase, right? So these are the three reactions where energy gets released. Here in dehydrogenation reaction, so NAD plus NADH2 is released, and which will be getting oxidized furtherly and forming three ATP molecules from each NADH2. And here also one ATP is released. So this is also called as substrate level phosphorylation. So we have already learned about it. And here also we get ATP molecules. So finally, from the three carbon compound, we can get five ATP molecules, three from NADH and two from substrate level phosphorylation. But glucose molecule is a six carbon compound, so which has two molecules of three carbon compounds. So that's why here finally 10 ATP molecules are released from glycolysis process, but in which two molecules gets utilized for the glycolysis process, and net ATP which will be released from glycolysis is 8 molecules. So this is about energetics of glycolysis pathway. So this is very important pathway in academic point of view. So no need to by heart this pathway. Everything is clear, everything is conceptual. You just understand what is the reaction is going on. So what is the type of reaction that is involved, and how the substrate is converting into a compound. So this is very much important topic, right? If you have any doubts, please ask in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.